So last year I meet this cute guy and we exchanged numbers and said, why don't we go to the beach, I'll grab us a couple sandwiches. We meet up on the beach and just immediately jump into this awesome conversation about like life and Oprah, which is all flirting to me, but I realized it might not be for him, so I start testing it out. This was not a date. And so I realized, all right, this might not be love, but he got himself some free therapy, all for the cost of 2 sandwiches, and I also got an idea for a show. Hi, Rain.
Hi, Matt.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. All right, what sandwiches have you brought us today?
I brought us the smoky TTLA sandwich from Whole Foods.
Smoky. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me what you think.
Oh, good.
It's good, right?
There's like a lot of sauce on it. I'm a sauce guy, I'm a condiments guy. Well, listen, you brought the sandwiches, so I'll bring the support.
Okay.
So tell me what's going on with you. What's new?
What's new? Well, I've been working a lot. I'm an actor and a filmmaker, so I've been doing a lot of writing. I have a show that's coming out in June, but January, February, I think I was feeling a little uninspired. And I think it has a lot to do with the holidays and not having family here in LA, immediate family here in LA, and being single.
Yeah.
So I was feeling all the things. So I was feeling really uninspired up until recently. I just got a creative, I don't know, I got into a creative flow. And so now I'm inspired again. I have something to look forward to.
How do you do that? Like, what's your strategy?
It's really a conscious effort. It really, really is. Well, one, the stress and the worry has historically just never done anything for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's never like, oh, let's worry and stress today and then everything's gonna be better.
Yeah. We'll just beat ourselves up until we make beautiful things. Like, nope, not gonna happen.
And so it's just reminding myself that like, it doesn't do anything for me except just make me feel awful.
So this is a hard town, so what's been maybe a little bit harder for you then?
Well, that's a very good question because I feel like I'm at a point where like, creatively and career-wise, things are kind of happening. There's a little bit of a buzz, but
I mean, I've been aware of your buzz.
Oh, same.
Yes,
Yay.
Buzz, honey. It's been good.
But yeah, no, I think like I am feeling a little lonely. Like I would like to, start dating.
So I'm just curious, like, why do you think, at least for you, the work stuff or the creative stuff has just been easier over, just reaching out to other people?
Well, when it comes to my creativity, I think I know what I want. Yeah. Like I have a very specific artistic message. I have a vision for the world. And so anything that I do it leads towards that. Yeah. Especially as a, Asian American transgender woman, as a community in a bigger sense, we're still facing a lack of representation on TV and film and a lack of just, our stories being out there. But when it comes to dating, I can't even talk, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, I'm like, exactly. Like, there's still not love and support for trans women, especially in the dating capacity. If a cisgender man is dating a trans woman, usually, more often than not, they're loving that trans woman in private.
Obviously being parts of like any kind of marginalized communities, it really just fucks with the way that we understand ourselves or how we value ourselves at times and how we then can kind of like move forward with a certain level of confidence to, allow ourselves to be nervous and to actually still move forward anyway and introduce ourselves or whatever. So like, let me ask you this, because to me, like, just knowing you, right? You're like this like beautiful woman, comes across very well spoken, strong, like you know what you want, driven, like all this stuff. Like, what would you say? I mean, obviously you're talking about being trans and also being a person of color and being female, that those things can contribute, but kind of what do you think has the strongest impact on what makes it challenging for you to feel you're most confident?
It's scary. It's scary to be publicly, visibly out. Yeah. And no matter, even though I'm in LA, I do appreciate the bubble that I live in, that we all live in, but there's still a danger to it. Like, the more public I am, the more visible I am, there's the fear of, that danger of of going out and someone who doesn't agree with what you represent can do something very, very scary.
Maybe what's been your experience or things that you've seen where maybe kind of within the bubble there's still certain ignorances or, you know, things that people aren't fully aware of?
As a community, we can do so much better because instead of challenging each other's views, we should be meeting in the intersection and like figuring out how we can bridge our you know, our experiences and our perspectives together so that we can work together. And I do have to say, I do have a lot of love in my life. Like I have a lot of supporting sisters and brothers within the community that have my back.
What would you say, if you had to just be like so honest, what's like the thing that you feel kind of like most insecure about when you're putting yourself out there to like date or open up to try and connect?
I guess my fear is that they'll find out that who I really am isn't what they were expecting or what they weren't hoping to date. But I feel like I've grown so much since my last relationship, which was 6 years. It was a 6-year relationship. And I mean, I've dated on and off since then, but I feel like I've grown so much since then that if I, you know, get to that place where I have the opportunity to be in a relationship again, I feel like I could be a better girlfriend. And that to me is exciting because I know that, I just don't know how to get there.
But I mean, I think like that part of it can make it so difficult because like you said, it's like, okay, you have a sense about what you might be able to do differently, kind of conceptually, but in terms of actually having moved through that, you haven't. And so it's inherently uncomfortable for us, anything that we don't know or haven't actually experienced ourselves, because it's just a mystery. Kind of like even, you know, with stuff creatively. Like I'm sure, you know, that there's like things that like new steps that you take or new ways that you know, kind of flex your creative muscles and open yourself up. But it's like anything else, the more that we practice it, then obviously the better able we are to move through it and take certain risks. So I kind of think about the same thing myself too when it comes to dating or opening up. I just know it's going to be uncomfortable, but the more that I can just challenge myself to just take risks anyway, knowing that I'm going to fumble and be awkward and probably make some more of the same mistakes, then it is what it is. But at least I'm moving through, actively moving through, and building confidence that way.
I think you nailed it there. Is just, you know, allowing yourself to just not think too much about it and allow yourself to fumble, allow yourself to make mistakes, and allow yourself to look silly and like a fool. But at least you're taking action. Like I love that you said that because I think you nailed it, and I think that's what I need to do more of when it comes to, you know, putting myself out there instead of just swiping. So lazy.
But it's so comforting. You just keep swiping. You're like, there's some hope in here somewhere, but nothing's happening right now. Well, anyway, speaking of action, what do you think about maybe dancing a little bit? I think we've done enough talking. I think we need to move our bodies.